Health. For the hardcore Minecrafter, not a thing to be taken for granted. And for this Minecrafter in particular, a fleeting, temporary thing. For you see, this humble Minecrafter lacks the capacity to recover any health at all, and it will spend its earliest days searching for a home safe enough to harbor such a fragile, pitiful creature. Welcome to No Heal Minecraft. As the cautious Minecrafter takes its first steps on new land, it walks with trepidation, for history has shown even the safest of places can hide unknown dangers, terminally threatening to those so unfortunately without second chances. The local fauna may be harmless, but lurking beneath the mycelium lies the potential for grave error. Knowing this, the wise Minecrafter takes a full survey of the surrounding landscape, hoping to find a location suitable to call home. While very little of the island lacks in charm, the pretentious Minecrafter takes its time, for once a nesting location is selected, the Minecrafter will remain there for the duration of its life cycle. A solitary and defensive creature, the Minecrafter naturally seeks a high vantage point. This allows it maximum defense against any potentially looming threats that have poked through the veil of security provided by these glorious fungal hills. Unfortunately, in seeking the opportunity for preventative defense, the foolish Minecrafter also places itself at extremely high risk, for a single misstep could send it tumbling to an early demise. The daring Minecrafter, aware of the implicit risk, elects to establish its home here. For all of the opportunity on the island, the creature's instincts have guided it to this location and the bounty it may bring. No time to waste, the industrious Minecrafter begins establishing its territory. Using materials found along its journey, the Minecrafter plugs any errant holes and terraforms the region to its comfort. Before long, the creature's instincts guide it toward progress, and for this ambitious little fellow, that means iron. Some subspecies may perform a technique known as strip mining. However, this particular Minecrafter elects to pursue a more direct approach, despite the inherent risks therein. While brave, more intelligent species may note that such an approach is wholly unnecessary and serves only to add artificial intensity to an otherwise tedious, dull live stream. Fortunately for our humble observational efforts, the hubristic Minecrafter's endeavors offer an opportunity to get a more intimate look at this rare creature's gathering behaviors. One must note that, while exploratory in nature, the creature's probes into the landscape only extend as far as its needs require. At present, the Minecrafter seeks only a bucket and a pair of boots, merely enough to get a life started and return to a more practical, simple method of resource gathering. Seemingly opposed to any form of caution or mindfulness, the dim-witted Minecrafter flirts incessantly with disaster. With any luck, this cluster of iron will have sufficient material for the Minecrafter to proceed with its plans. But of course, fortune favors the bold, and so our Minecrafter will advance beyond this already treacherous cliff into yet more dangerous territory. For all the qualities possessed by such a creature, none is quite so prominent as greed. A gluttonous beast, the Minecrafter will advance, blinded by its own aspirations, and find that 4 of its mere 10 hearts have been stripped away at once. In times of such solemnity, the wounded Minecrafter returns to its home, favoring the safety and familiarity of simple chores and maintenance. In search of companionship, it journeys back, away from the island, taking advantage of the sun's light to seek out a village. While there is no hope of recovery for the damage done to the body, a discouraged Minecrafter may find that the beauty of the surrounding world and the security of repetitive tasks can yet still heal the soul. After several grueling minutes of searching, it becomes clear to this unfortunate being that, at least for now, its journey will remain a solitary one. Lacking any direction other than forward, the brave Minecrafter soldiers on, preparing a ceremony sacred to the population of this mushroom island. Preparations for such an event are deeply precise and tedious. If executed incorrectly, the Minecrafter believes it will not succeed in its quest for resources. Satisfied, the creature marvels at the fruits of its labor, if even for a moment longer than is truly called for. While diamonds are indeed the singular focus of the Minecrafter's feeble mind, it knows enough to first seek out the requisite iron. And so, learning from its past mistakes, the Minecrafter begins its strip mine. The temptation to repeat history is strong, but for once, the will of the Minecrafter is indeed stronger. At least for today, it seems fortune instead favors the wise. The world looks quite different to an adventurer prepared, and so with renewed vigor, our empowered Minecrafter marches forward with diamonds in its eyes. Fortunately, the excitement of treasures to come is not enough to blind the creature to the risks abound. So, even as it makes its way toward a true mark of progress, it takes care to defend its pathway from unwelcome guests. And before long, the patient Minecrafter's care and attention is finally rewarded. Too overwhelmed with emotion to proceed, the Minecrafter steps away, preparing its home for a new dawn. It seeks enough diamond to create a chest plate, and so continues its quest, only to find itself completing that quest almost immediately. The wealthy Minecrafter partakes in the natural reflex of all in its species and fully explores the extent of its new riches. In search of humility and in avoidance of life-ending overconfidence, the Minecrafter steps away again, preparing itself mentally for the official start of its new life. Even the humblest of creatures understand the value of progress, and so the unbeatable Minecrafter ventures deep into the heart of the island, seeking iron of sufficient quality to free the diamonds from the stone bindings that hold them. The victorious Minecrafter relishes in its final moments of poverty, and at last seeks to partake in that most shared of all traditions across the animal kingdom, the creation of its nest. Please tune in to future episodes as we continue our series studying the no-heal Minecrafter. Join the live stream to watch the rare species develop in real time, and support our conservation efforts by liking this video and subscribing to the channel if it pleases you. The studio hosts a wide variety of content. Please explore all the sister channels for a more precise, tailored feed. Thank you for hanging out with us today. It has indeed been a blast. Until next time.